Ooka and the priest's problem. Now it so happened in the days of old Yedo that the shogun's law required judges to punish the wrongdoing and reward virtue. However, there was a time when it seemed that Ooka went out of his way to do just the opposite. After he finished his term as Machibyogo, city magistrate of Yedo, Ooka was promoted to Jishabyogo. Uh, In this august position, he had supervision over all lesser judges in the city's temples. One day, Ooka was inspecting a temple, and the priest approached him in great agitation. "Lord Ooka," he said, "I am troubled by a terrible matter. One of my two students is a thief." "Many young men make an occasional slip," Ooka said. "I am sure a man of your strong faith will soon set his steps in the right direction." "I did that, Honorable Honor," the priest said. "For a week I corrected him. Jirobe was a model student. Then the scoundrel relapsed into wickedness and pawned a valuable temple treasure." "Perhaps you did not instruct him properly," Ooka said. "The great judge was a man who went out of his way to give the accused the benefit of every doubt." "A most logical assumption, my lord," the priest said. "It is one that I asked myself. However, it so happens that Jirobe received exactly the same training as the other youth. Gohei Ji is model charity and of chivalry. That proves I was not amiss in my training. Indeed, I devoted to them all the time I could spare from my life work." "So, and what is your life work?" Ooka asked. "I meditate sorrowfully on the sins of the world, my lord. There are so many of them it takes an enormous amount of time." "I don't doubt it," Ooka replied. "I suppose you wish me to pronounce a judgment in the case of the scoundrel student." "If it please your honorable honor." "It pleases me," Ooka said. "Let this be my judgment. Gohei-ji shall be banished from the temple." "Lord Ooka, you have pardoned my presumption for daring to point out so insignificant a fact. You have made a great mistake. Gohei-ji is the honest student. It is Jirobe who is the thief. I suppose I do make an occasional error, none of us being perfect," Ooka said peevishly, "but I refuse to admit that I do. I made my judgment, and it shall stand. Gohei-ji is banished. Jirobe shall continue his studies here in the temple. My lord, he will steal all of our treasures. There won't be a thing left." He Ooka interrupted his protest. He climbed into his palanquin and went back to Yedo. The priest's anguish turned to rage. "I see it all now," he said spitefully. "Jirobe is the son of a famous house, while Goheiji comes from a poor family. And this is the man fools call the wisest and most honorable of judges." The priest's rage was compounded the next day when Jirobe stole another of the temple's treasures. In desperation, the priest gave up meditating on the sins of the world and devoted his entire time teaching his errant student. In about 6 months, Ooka again had an occasion to visit the temple. He inquired about Jirobe. "I am happy to report that he has now seen the error of his ways and has reformed," the priest informed Ooka. "However, it was such a tremendous task to reform him that I have had no time for my meditating." "I see," Ooka said. "I have made inquiries about Goheiji, whom I banished, and I find that he has established himself as a teacher and has the respect of all who know him. Obviously, he went on, a man of such merit needed no more instruction himself. So was it not better to send him away so you could devote all your time to a man who needed it? As for your neglect of your meditation, I am sure that the world is better for your actually reforming one of its sinners instead of just sitting around worrying about the sins of the multitude.